Have you ever gotten that feeling of déjà vu watching a movie? You've seen it a dozen times, just with a different hero and a different monster. Well, you're not imagining it. Turns out there's this powerful idea that a secret formula, kind of like an ancient code, is hidden inside so many of our favorite stories. And today, we're going to crack that code. Seriously, think about it. The reluctant farm boy, the call to adventure he doesn't want, the wise old mentor who shows up just in time. Sound familiar? Why does the same basic pattern show up again and again, from ancient myths all the way to the latest blockbuster? Is it just a massive coincidence, or is there something much, much deeper going on here? Well, the answer might just be something called the monomyth. You've probably heard it called the hero's journey. It was this scholar Joseph Campbell who had a huge idea that underneath all these different hero myths from all over the world, there's really just one single universal story, one great monomyth. But is that really true? I mean, is there really one story to rule them all? That's what we're going to dig into. We're going to put this universal hero's code to the test and see if it really does fit every hero everywhere from every culture. And believe me, this isn't just some dusty old academic theory. A guy named Christopher Vogler, a Hollywood exec, took Campbell's work and boiled it down into a simple memo for screenwriters. And that memo? It totally blew up. It made the hero's journey one of the most powerful and widely used storytelling formulas in modern movies. It's the secret blueprint behind so much of what we watch. Okay, so what is this blueprint exactly? Let's unpack it. Campbell's whole model might sound complicated, but it actually boils down to 3 core phases, just 3 main acts in the hero's epic adventure. First up, you've got separation. This is where the hero leaves their normal, everyday world. Then comes the big one, initiation. This is the heart of it, where they face all the trials and monsters and are totally transformed. And finally, there's the return. The hero comes back home, but they're not the same. They've changed, and they bring something back with them, some gift or wisdom. See, separation, initiation, return. Now those 3 phases, they can get broken down even more. This chart here shows the full 12 stages, things you'll definitely recognize like the call to adventure, meeting the mentor, the ordeal. We're not going to get lost in the weeds with all 12, but you can see how they all just map onto that core structure of leaving, facing challenges, and coming back home.
So, here's the billion-dollar question. Does this modern blueprint actually fit humanity's oldest, most foundational stories? To find out, we're going to put it to the ultimate test against 2 of the most ancient epics ever written down.
So meet our heroes. On one side, we have Gilgamesh from the oldest piece of literature we've ever found. He's a powerful king from ancient Mesopotamia who is absolutely terrified of dying. And on the other side, we have Rama from the Indian epic, the Ramayana. He's a prince whose entire life is about his sacred duty, or what's known as dharma. And you know what? At first glance, the pattern seems to hold up, like perfectly. Both Gilgamesh and Rama get a call to adventure that just yanks them right out of their ordinary lives and throws them onto a new path. So far, so good. The universal theory is looking pretty solid.
But this is where it gets really, really interesting, because when you look just a little bit closer, that perfect blueprint starts to crack. And the whole idea of a universal code, it starts to fall apart.
And the break happens right at the very heart of the story, their motivation. Why are they doing this? For Gilgamesh, it's all about personal gain. His best friend dies, and he becomes obsessed with finding immortality for himself. But Rama? He's driven by dharma, that sacred duty. His heroism isn't about what he gets, it's about what he owes to his community and to the cosmic order. And this quote just says it all. Gilgamesh fails. He doesn't get immortality. He doesn't come back with some magic potion for his people. His story doesn't end in a big triumph. It ends in this quiet, sad acceptance that humans have to die. He totally breaks the model. He fails to complete those triumphant final stages of the journey. And this is exactly where the modern critiques of the monomyth come in. Scholars argue that maybe it isn't so universal after all. They say it tends to impose a very Western, very individualistic, and very male-centric pattern onto stories from other cultures. And in doing that, it can accidentally erase the very values, like duty over glory, that make those stories so unique. You've even got feminist critics, like Valerie Estelle Frankel, who point out that this whole model ignores completely different patterns of female heroism. So, does all this mean the hero's journey is useless? Should we just throw it out? Not at all. We just have to completely reframe what it's for. It's not a law of storytelling, it's something way more useful. And this gets us to the most important takeaway of this whole thing. The hero's journey is not a rulebook. It is not some rigid law that says how every story has to be told. Seeing it that way is exactly where we go wrong. Instead, we need to think of it as a lens, a kind of diagnostic tool. Its real power isn't seeing how stories fit the pattern. No, its true power is what it shows us when a story breaks the pattern. The magic is in the gaps. Because it's those gaps, right? Those moments where a story like the Epic of Gilgamesh just veers off the path. They're like a giant spotlight. They show us what a culture really values. Is it all about individual glory, or is it about your duty to the group? Is a hero someone who wins at all costs, or someone who learns to accept their fate? The breaks in the pattern tell us everything we need to know.
And all that leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. If the stories we tell about our heroes really do reflect our deepest cultural values, think about your favorite story, your favorite hero. What does their journey, and maybe, just maybe where it breaks the pattern, reveal about the values of your world?